What's up, guys? Pokepasoda here. Going to do a nice little short video on the good old thing on TCGplayer. Every week they have which cards spike this week, so let's go ahead and get into it, guys. There's some pretty good ones on here. So let's start it off with Ghastly. This is from Temporal Forces, and this is going to be a theme you're going to see here as Temporal Forces, they hit different, okay? Now, Temporal Forces, of course, SVO5, fifth set that was going to be in the Scarlet and Violet era. This Ghastly right here is going crazy. Right now, near mint, $150. No way, you're saying. And it's a little bit untrue. About $115 to $120 what you're going for. If you look at the chart here for the 1 year, this was as low as $34 a year ago and even a month ago. This was about $97 and it got up to $120, about $115 right now in the last month. 95 was sold, 77 for the low, about $150 for a high, which that is definitely an outlier. But this Ghastly card is extremely awesome, and it is one that I truly do like. So let's actually check it out and see what it's selling for in a PSA 10. All right, so right here, we have the Ghastly card in a PSA 10, about a $555 card, and you'll see that its pop rate is close to about that 33% or so. So nothing too crazy, not really a bad pop rate for it, but yeah, sells for about 555 bucks. So pretty decent card right there. Now we go to the second card, Morty's Conviction. Again, Temporal Forces. This Morty's card has the nice little Gengar on the bottom. Looks like a big display rug you'd have in your house. This card has actually went kind of crazy too. 32 listings right now. $77 is the cheapest you're going to be able to find this thing right now. In the last month, 55 was sold, 50 for a low, about 87 for a high. And if you look at these recent sales right here, you got anywhere from $85 to $79, $78. So staying pretty consistent. If you look at this one just a year ago, though, this was a $45 card, got down to as low as $35. Now this thing is selling for an astounding rate at about $78. Now, a lot of these trainers, they do not sell extremely high in a PSA 10 rate, but this one right here with the Gengar, right now you have to pay the Gengar tax essentially. This is a big one. If you don't have it in your collection, I definitely would. Now, sticking with Temporal Forces again, this is 3 for 3 right now, the Walking Wake. Some people didn't like the ancient forms. I get it. I liked it though. I thought Temporal Forces, it was one I opened 2 cases of booster boxes on back in the day when you could. This one right here, about a $65 card, so you can get it shipped to you from an actual legit seller for $50. In the last month, low of $35, about a high of $60, with a total sales of $99 this month. If you look at this card a year ago, it was as high as $50 again. Now down a little bit lower, but it has not hit its all-time high, but it definitely has had a pretty big spike in the last 3 months. So let's actually check this one out and see what it sells for in a PSA 10. So we got Walking Wake. Right here we got it. So the PSA 10 rate is $150. I know I have one of those right behind me too in a PSA 10. This thing gems out at about, it's pretty close to that 50%, probably 45%. So not a bad card. The raw value versus the Gem 10, probably not one I'd mess with, but it's a cool card. If you're a Walking Wake fan, definitely one of the best arts that's out there. Now, here's two that connect from Temporal Forces again. It's so wild. We got the Deerling and we got the Sawsbuck. These things are awesome. Now, these were fairly cheap cards about 2-3 months after they came out, but right now, you can get this thing for 38 bucks shipped. Okay. That's right there's for the Deerling, $38. The Sawsbuck, 26 listings. This one's in a Gem 10 from a Japanese. From your first start seller, $55. So you can get the set of those for right around $100 if you chose to do that. They're connecting arts. They're super cool. This one in the last year, it went from $20 all the way up to about $50 right now. In the last month, 91 have sold, 31 for a low, and about 77 for a high. The Deerling, however, though, this one a year ago was about $20. I remember these were both about $20. Okay. Now in the last month, this has went from a $34 card all the way to about a $40 card. 82 was sold, 34 low, 64 high. I do not know what the gem rate is on this one. I'm kind of interested to see what it is. I don't know what it sells. So PSA 10's $241 and it has a gem rate of roughly, gosh, it's right around that 33% or so, 30%. So nothing too crazy there. And the Sawsbuck, that one is a $165 card with a gem rate roughly about, gosh, 40%. So Nothing crazy there, but again, Temporal Forces, 5 for 5 right now, guys. Now, let's get out of Temporal Forces a little bit and let's go to Mega Dragon Knight. This is Ascended Heroes, of course. This card has went nuts. When we look at this one the last month, it was a $700 card all the way up to about $850. The last 3 months, considering this was a January 29th release, $555 about when it came out. When it came out, actually, it was higher than that. I pulled it the first week. Gorgeous card. Um, and now again, $854. In the last month, though, this is what's crazy. 60 of these is sold, 500 for a low, 1,000 for a high. Starred seller right here, $798. Says it's off centered. If you want one fairly good centered from a starred seller, $822 right there. And look at it, guys. You got the Dragatini, Dragoneer, and you got another Dragon Knight that's down here as well. Cool, cool card. Unbelievable card. Now, let's go with the Pikachu, the Forest Chew, the Pikachu in the Woods, the the Tria Chew, whatever chew you got. This one right here in the last 3 months was about a $520 card. It's went over $1,000, and these are selling now for about 12 to 1,300. When we look at the starred sellers on this one, it's $1,200, 22 listings. Okay, $1,200. Let's see how far it goes. All right, ooh, 1,750. It's a $1,500 card for the next. You're gonna have to pay $1,500 here after the next 8 or 9 sales. Oh, that's on page 2. My bad, guys. So here we have one for it's still a $1,200 card. So you're gonna have to before it gets to above a $1,500 card, you have roughly about 18. Okay, and the one that's selling for the highest. Oh, this is crazy. Now there's only 19 listings, so I must have to refresh the page. So now you're 1750 29. This one's minty fresh, $5,000. 1 points. I don't think that guy's gonna sell his. GTL Collectibles is pretty well known, but yeah, guys, crazy. This card's going nuts. Okay, and if you look at it, look how many in the last month. 90 have sold. $240 for the lowest, which again, Korean and Japanese get thrown in there, but 1,300 for the high wild card. Now this one is making a second appearance in the last about 5 or 6 weeks. This one was on one of my previous videos if you watch it. And this is the Blastoise Crystal Guardian. Okay. Now this Blastoise Crystal Guardian, when I was looking for on eBay, I was trying to pick them up for between $115 and $120. And if we look at the 3 month, you're going to see this is about a $150 card. Okay. Now this card just went nuts. It's a $250 card because it got put on here, guys. So people had seen this and they said, hey, I better pick one of these up. So the card price on these have definitely increased. 11 listings of these, 300 is going to be your lowest from a starred seller. Okay. Now these cards are very, very tough to get graded. And actually, let's see if we can just find this one. It's a Blastoise from Chris. We'll put Delta in there. See if that helps out. Doesn't look like it is, but I want to say this card though. Gosh, I want to say this one. So it's Crystal Guardians Delta Species is number 2. So let's just try putting Blastoise 2. Oh, right there it is. Okay. So this one right here though, very low gem rate, but not a ton have been graded. This one though has been selling for $4,300 the last week. There's been like 3 sales of this. You'll see there's 61 in a 10. Then you got about 1,300 right here, 1,500, 1,700, right, 1,800. So 1,800 to 2,000 of these have been graded with 61 growing in 10. This card right now is a tough one to get. Now, when they were $130, you could buy them all day long, get them graded as a 9, you do pretty well. But right now, the 8s and a 9, you're 50-50 about. So I think it's a cool card. Crystal Guardian, unbelievable set. But again, I think the boat's been missed on this one. Now we're going to go with the Gardevoir EX. This is from Paldean Fates, the best Fates set there is. Again, I'm putting my prediction out there. There will be a Fates set that comes out in January, and it'll be called Crystal Fates or something along like close to that. Crystal Fates is what I got. Mega Fates doesn't sound right. Crystal Fates or something. I think it's going to be because of the crowns, the crystals, but we'll see. Gardevoir EX, awesome card. Gives throwback to the Steam Siege era from XY. Now this card right here has went nuts. It was a $140 card, up over to $186 right now, and it's $200 if you want to get it from a starred seller. The amount of these that have sold, 71 of them, low for 135, high for 214. In the last 3 months, it was a $111 card. A year ago, this thing was down to 76, hit an all-time low for it, got up to about 140, then it hit a brand new high for a low at $110. This thing will never be below $100 again. That's my prediction. Paldean Fates, 2 stacked of a set. Awesome card. And the Gardevoir EX, where are we at? Oh, that's, we don't want Japanese in here. This card, I want to say grading wise, there we are. The gem rate on this one was right around, yeah, about 45%. And in a 10, it's a $402 card, which I think is kind of criminal. It should be probably closer to $600, I think. This is a beautiful Gardevoir card. I love it. You got different Pokemon in there. I mean, it's cool. Awesome card. Now, last one we're going to talk about is Charmander. Now, this was an actual card that came in a check lane blister. I do have one of these laying around, but it's SWSH092 from Sword and Shield. This Charmander has went kind of crazy. It was a $2 card just earlier this month, $2. Now it's up to about $9 card. A year ago, guys, this card was in the pennies. We're talking 70 cents. So crazy. In the last month, look how many of these have sold. 856, 644 for a low, 13 or 64 cents for a low, 13.50 for a high. If you want to get one of these, 875 plus shipping from a start to seller, and it takes you a while before you actually get to a like seller has multiples. So you could buy $10 or plus shipping for those 5. This card right here does not sell for a ton, to be honest with you. I mean, I think it's like 250 bucks. Oh, I take that back. I eat my words. $600 card. Now let's look at the gem rate on this one. You got 566 plus 400. So that's going to put you at roughly 973. And that's going to put you at about 1,090. Put you another 100 in there. I mean, you're going to be about 1,200 cards with 131 gem 10ing. So that means you'll have a 10% gem 10 rate on this one. Do I think it's a bad buy at $10? I do. I would not do it because a 10 only sells for $27. With a grading fee at 25, you're going to be negative money there. When these are 64 cents, yeah, I think it's a great move. But you got to look at, though, we've had some 10 selling, okay? They've sold consistently around that $500 mark. $600 for the last 2 of them. That's last one sold 2 days ago. So nothing crazy, but just something to think about. So these are some of the cards, guys. Remember, you can go right here on the Which Card Spike this week on TCGplayer.com. It's a great thing to do every week, and I always release a video on it every week. So I appreciate you guys stopping by. Remember, I'm Pokebasoda. Like and subscribe. And if you got any comments, leave them below. Let me know if any of these cards you want to try to pick up in the near future. And definitely check out my last video where I talk about bulk PSA 10 to gold. Super good stuff right there. It's really killing it on the views. Have had a lot of comments. And then right here, I talked about Pokemon, and he actually commented on my video, and he didn't yell at me. So I didn't agree with him much on that video, and I thought it was pretty upstanding that he actually took the time to watch it and comment on it. So I appreciate that. I definitely want to give credit where credit is due. A lot of YouTubers, they wouldn't have to do that. They could just say it is what it is. But I appreciate Brian at Pokemon for doing that. Just a couple of Nebraska boys talking about Pokemon cards. So, thanks again, guys. Remember, Pokebasoda, like and subscribe, and as always, catch them all.